Giving all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim HaKakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that told me this truth that will well, and Shalom to the elect scattered throughout the four winds of the earth. This is Kodash Paya, and as you can see, we must walk on that tightrope, right? As you can see the picture here, when the scriptures speak about walking on on the straight path, straight gate, roughly paraphrasing, we're going to get the scriptures, but we must tighten up those that know that the Israelites preaching in the true name and the true doctrine and rehearsing the righteous acts in sincerity, truth, and with faith and a healthy fears towards the Most High, doing that which is pleasing in His sight, so we won't get caught in the snares and the traps of this world, which are the broad places, which are all these different distractions that's going on now, all these controversies due to prophecies unfolding. It's going to get worse. The spirits and these people are going to get roused up. More distractions and controversies is going to occur, and we must stay tightened. You know what I'm saying? We must stay focused, keeping our eyes singled as a tightrope. You don't want to fall. You don't want to, let anything in this world, throw you off your square, throw you off your balance, and this is why we were told, to keep our eyes single. But real quick, this is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in therewith. Right? Because it says, because straight is the gate, narrow is the way, which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it, few, which is why only an elect is going to obtain salvation. The elect, a small percentage, small number of people, while the majority, right, gets caught up in the broad places, which is these distractions, worshiping other gods, philosophies, worrying about the cares of this world, different pagan days they worship, worrying about their jobs and things that's going to be taken away. They're caring about more than the times we're in, the times that, we're headed to, which is Yahushua coming back and everything that's going to befall before His second return. The hour of temptation, Jacob's trouble, martial law, famine, pestilence, World War III, divisions among people, right? Civil unrest, complete havoc and anarchy. But those that keep their trust unto the Lord will only watch for Him. You know what I'm saying? It's like you in a tunnel and, you see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's your main focus. That's what laser focus. You're not worrying about what's around you in the tunnel that's going to make you stumble. No, you're going to maintain your course of action, which is why let's get Philippians chapter 3, verse 13. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before. So we're not worrying about what's behind us. That's why it's behind us, you see, which is what? Things we lost, all the L's we took, trials and tribulations, you know what I'm saying? We're not looking back, we're plowing, we're laboring to enter into that rest, like it tells you in Hebrews, I believe 4:11, right? Scripture speak about a man putting his hand to a plow, looking back is not fit, because what? These people looking back, that know they're Israelites, but their cares is still unto this place. Just like when Moses took a lot of Israelites out, their care and their minds are still on Egypt, right? That's why the scriptures say what? Remembers Lot's wife. You see? Because we know what happened when she turned back, which is a representation of her, where her mind was at, where her heart was at. See? That's why it says, and reaching forth unto those things which are before, which is ahead. Scriptures say what the kingdom is prepared for us. It's already prepared. That's what we're looking forward to. You know, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Yahweh in Yahweh Shah Mashiach. So we're pressing towards that mark for the prize, the crown of life, salvation. You know, to join heirs, the first fruits with Yahweh Shah when he come back. You know, to receive a reward for our good works. You know, because these people, they're going to get a reward for what? Their works that they've done, whether he be wicked or righteous. See? This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, verse 5, verse 4. But put the case, the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? Right? There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall. Right? So we are in captivity. You know, the Lord set up a path for us, you know, prepared, and we just follow it, you know, stay on that yellow brick road. But everything around is going to try to distract you, because while we battle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. So, you know, the broad places, you know, we're in the cities, brothers live in the cities, you know, there's so much going on. Even on the internet, the broad places, so much you can, you know, get caught up into, and, you know, different philosophies that become stumbling blocks, you know. That's why it says, that's why it says, you know, and it's set in a dangerous place, you know, to fall. Because people fall, you know, for over women, for jobs, for their families, for their kids, which is why Yahushua, you know, spoke about them that try to save their life shall lose it. And those that lose it shall save it, you know. But not too many people understand that saying. It says, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. You know, so this is a very strict and is a strict and well ordered and disciplined path. You know, look at the path of Yahushua. You know, he had to suffer wrongfully. He had to suffer persecution. You know, he had to go through things to fulfill prophecy. Just like what we got to go through now, suffering for righteousness' sake. Not too many people are worthy or are willing to suffer, you know, to, you know, be persecuted for righteousness' sake, you know, and to deal with it and still continue with their belief, faith, and integrity as Job. And you know, that's supposed to represent us as a whole, the house of David. You know, no matter what, we must continue to press towards that mark, which is that prize. Okay? It says, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion. See? Because for their sakes I made the world, and when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. Verse 12, then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils, and very painful. Right? The entrances of this world, right? For the entrances of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruit. Yeah, because you got to understand, in the times we're in now, 2023, was different than the ancient days, of our forefathers. That's when this word was really being brought out after Egypt, the name of the Lord and everything, so on and so forth. And there's certain things that our forefathers had to do and commit, you know. Uh, and it was more rough back then. It's as if then they that live labor not to enter these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. For now, therefore, why disquaintest thou thyself, seeing thou art but a corruptible man? And why art thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal? Why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present? Okay. Then answered I and said, O Lord, that bearest rule, thou hast ordained in thy law that the righteous should inherit these things, but that the ungodly should perish. There you go. Right? Here's the point. Verse 18, nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer the straight things. You see? Just like the prophets. What did our forefathers suffer for? Well, they suffered for righteousness' sake in a world full of abominable acts that anybody can join into and be corrupted and destroyed, because it's more corruption and wickedness and more people that are into those things in this world now, the society, the way things are, rather than the righteous, which are but few in number. You see? It says, nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for wide. For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, and yet shall not see the wide. Right? So majority of people are not going to see, that the kingdom of heaven, straight up. Because what the kingdom of heaven is going to be established on earth, and scriptures say what 2/3, shall be cut off and die, which is 2/3 of the population of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Seminole and American Indians, which are the biblical Israelites. See, for there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of God that is set before them. For God hath given straight commandment to such as came. Alright, Salakia, I want to jump back real quick to verse 7, Lord willing. It says, the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. So, you got to understand too, right, how the first death was what? By water, yeah? And, we're in the midst of witnessing the second death, which is going to be by fire. And it's best to walk in that straight gate so you won't get caught up in that fire, the day of the Lord, World War III. The lake of fire is going to be where? Babylon the Great, America. So, you don't want to be swimming in fire. You want to be taken up in the chariots when Yahweh shall come back, man. And let's get one more scripture real quickly. This is the book. Come on, man. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 6, verse 22. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? So the scriptures, is what gives us that light to continue on this path, to be able to see, to be able to be directed. Scripture say, receive instruction that thou mayst be wise in thy latter end. So these are the instructions. The Lord laid out the blueprint. This is the light to so if Yahushua is supping with you through the Spirit, the Spirit will allow you to discern, because that's a gift: discernment, faith, humbleness, even worthy to suffer persecution and humility for the Lord is a gift, because it's the Spirit that's in you. The Lord, what the Lord gave you, the Spirit that the Lord gave you to endure these things, because people's gonna suffer regardless. You understand? These people are gonna suffer regardless. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying, straight to the point. Because things is about to get more intense. You know what I mean? And once the internet gets cut off and his word can't go out anymore, that gate, that path is going to be even more narrow. Call Allah, Abanawa Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim 𝐞𝐴. With that, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near. Shalom.